Hello everybody, welcome to our one-day advanced teaching and learning methods use of technology workshop to be conducted in your institute. I'm very happy to be here for conducting this event because the global technologies today are making lot many opportunities to be created for faculty to take advantage. The agenda of today's event is very simple and straightforward. I will be trying to make it clear for you the potential and practice of digital technologies with example. First, I will let you know the power and potential that is inherent in today's digital technologies. Then I will be giving you examples on how to practice them on day-to-day life. All that you have to need is actually an internet connectivity and rest will be given to you. There is a very famous saying which says that ask you shall be given, seek you will find. Today internet has become a final destination for practicing these two advices. Today if you go to internet ask for everything you will get. Not only that, you seek for any information or resource you will definitely get that. So today internet has become one of the most charitable institution. Think of a resource, it must be available on the internet. Think of an information bit, it will be available on the internet. Today, internet technologies have helped us to overcome some of the traditional barriers. The first barrier that internet has overcome is distance. Currently, I am showing you a presentation which I have prepared in my hometown Dharwad, which is about 1000 kilometers away from here. But the cloud will help me to access the created document and the presentation here in your college, Chennai, and that way actually I don't have to carry my laptop nor I have to carry it in a storage device. So this is a kind of a liberation for each one of us. Next to overcoming distance barrier, the cloud computing technologies also help you to overcome time barrier. Earlier, suppose I want to communicate with a couple of people, then it used to take a lot of time. I have to send my communication, wait for the reply after they send it one. Now today, as the example that I am showing you right now, has helped me to communicate you virtually on live manner. So I am sharing a document with you and asking you to give certain information like name and email ID. So because cloud is our help us to create this form and seek information from active participants and which reaches me almost instantaneously is the second barrier which has overcome by the cloud computing, that is time barrier. There is no time lag between my request and your response. As you can see on the screen today, on you can actually realize the power and potential of cloud computing in another way. Now I have shared a document with you and I'm asking each one of you to enter some data which belongs to your branch or your specialization. Now simultaneously you can watch that couple of people are entering data into their cells and it is getting updated simultaneously. So now connecting to active minds also has no barrier. Earlier you have to circulate a kind of a document or a paper with all the participant, then collect that information and then aggregate it. Now as you can see that each student and each participant with whom I have shared this document is editing data at the same time, and Google is helping us to collect that data and aggregate it. Not only that, cloud computing helps you to overcome the natural barriers or which are physical barriers like distance and time. It also helps you to overcome some of the human created barriers such as language. As you can see in the form that is given you, you can enter some matter in language such as English and you can see that immediately translated into languages such as Tamil, Hindi, and Kannada. So now this also being done without you putting any effort. You just type the original matter, it gets translated into different languages. So translation is also an activity which has held us back because we cannot communicate with number of people who don't know our language. Now with the help of this translation feature which is available in the digital technology, reaching out to more and more people is not only simple, it is very straightforward. One of the another barrier which has prevented people from communicating or reaching out to everybody in the population is literacy. If somebody is not literate, he cannot read the form that you give or he cannot write back to you asking for something. All that he can do is speaking. Now cloud computing provides you some kind of a tools in which a person can speak and that speech will be converted into a document which can be used for further activities. So even this barrier of like A person cannot participate because he is not literate is also overcome from by the cloud computing technology. So far, I mentioned you some of the tools and technologies which help us to overcome the traditional and man-made barriers. Now we will give you some illustration where we can use these tools to overcome some of the situation that we face or encounter in our day-to-day teaching and learning situations. One of the fundamental change that has happened these days can be depicted as follows. On the left side, you see a slate where you can write, erase, and learn. So normally in the past, before the advent of cloud computing or internet, so a student has to go to a school with a notebook or a slate, and he used to write in an isolated situation on his own slate, which only he can read or his class teacher can read. Now there is a fundamental change. On the right side, you see now in the networked society or a net society in which is powered by digital and cloud technologies, the learning and process has changed. Now anybody can actually edit, publish, and comment. And this process is actually continuous and iterative. So, for example, you can go to a website such as Google or Facebook, and you can publish something immediately somebody would actually comment on that. So this commenting, publishing, and editing process is the new basis of new learning today. So people don't study in isolation, they don't work in isolation, they work on the network. Cloud computing resources are general and generic. By that we mean that so any generic or general resource is like a language. Anybody can use it, whether you are a psychologist or you are an engineer. All that you are using for communication is a language. Similarly, cloud computing technologies are very generic and general. They can be used in any of the context, including your social work education. Here is a link which gives you how to use blog in the context of a social education and how you can make your students to use them too. Now let me give some more examples in which different technologies have been used in social education, social media and social education. So there is one research paper which shows that social media for professional practice integrating Twitter with social work pedagogy. Pedagogy is all about teaching. Tweet using live Twitter chats in social work education. Here is a professor who actually uses tweet as a part of her teaching and learning process. 15 crucial tools for social workers. This includes the professionals as well also educators. 25 essential software application for social workers. Again, these social workers would mean somebody who is in the field as well as somebody is in the educational circle. The point I want to make it clear here is that the social work education circle has already started using the cloud resources in many ways and in extended ways. So, for example, information and communication technologies in social work is another reference that you can always go to. Another one, a toolkit for digital technologies to be used in social work education. Finally, social media education basics for social work education. So, these are another set of references which confirms that the cloud computing technologies can be used in the social work education context. Social media education uses digital technologies, social work education, electronic technologies, and how to discover and apply them. The future of social work education using these digital technologies and in the age of digital age. Now let me give a practical illustration on how cloud computing used for your educational or teaching purpose. As you can see, here is an example link which is given cloudcomputingcourse.blogspot.in. This is the homepage that I have created for my course where actually I share all the resources such as syllabus, PPT presentation and all other course related items. Now please go to this http blogger.com so that we can create a blog of your own. In the context of Blogger, I showed you how to create a blog, make a post containing a text matter, how to insert a picture into your blog, and also how to create a presentation and insert it into your blog post. So now not only that we are able to create a text related resources, we can also create a videos using the free resource available on the cloud. If you go to YouTube, you can actually create a video and upload into the net so that you can share with your students. There is one nice poster on one of the walls in your institution. It says, books are works of art, each letter a brush stroke of beauty and genius. Very true, because when humans created language that separated from them from the other animals and helped them to create civilization. Since then, language has been the basis of everything that human does. With the invention of technology such as printing press, the power of language was much broadened. We had people like authors, publishers, and whatnot. Today, entire academic education, I mean, the process is actually built on publications. That means how many papers that you publish or how many books that you write, all those things. So, language has been one of the foundation for this many years. But now we have another excellent creation, or so to say, a brush of stroke of tools and technologies which are going to take us much further into our civilizational process. Now we are living in a technology driven world. So, technology is our new language. So far, language has been our first technology. Now onwards, technology will become our new language. The core ability that a person gets after learning a language is to compose. He can compose conversations, he can compose textbooks, he can compose paper. So the one of the fundamental quality which differentiate people who are successful and not successful is the ability to compose. That made them authors, that made them publishers, they made them good orators, and so on and so forth. Now with the technology, app development becomes the new composition. That means the success that you have in developing an app is equivalent to the success that you had in the past in composing the works of arts. In the language driven society or times, author was the creator. He could compose books, he could compose papers. Today, developer is the new author. That means developing an app is as good as creating a new novel. In the language driven world, the success of an author was measured by number of the copies of his book sold. Now, in a technological era where app development becomes a crucial activity, number of downloads that has happened to one application is the measure. So, number of copies sold is old, number of downloads happen to an app is a new measure of success. In the language driven society, document was the basis of everything. So you have a textbook, you have an assignment, you have a reference, and so on and so forth. So that was the fundamental communication means. Student have to read a document, read a textbook. Today, video has become a new document. With the advanced technologies and mobiles available, it is possible for us to create a video and let people study those videos by listening or trying to understand the matter by using those videos. Here I list how I use digital technologies in my teaching and learning process. I have used web tools for learning and teaching, social media for education, social media for medical education, use of technology in education, and so on and so forth. The social media for medical education is a presentation in which I listed different tools which can be used in the context of medical education. Now I make some concluding remarks. Today, participants learned about the power and potential of digital tools and how to use them in learning and teaching process. For any other information or a query, you can contact me at this following address.